Sony has been promising Google Assistant integration for their headphones for a while now. And even though it did take a little longer than expected, it's finally here. Now, this new firmware update is only available for a few select products, but eventually, Sony's whole headphone lineup will feature Google Assistant integration. But for now, let's see what Google Assistant is all about on my personal favorite headphones, the Sony 1000XM2. Just so we're clear, this isn't a full review on the Sony 1000XM2. I'm just addressing this new significant firmware update. If you want to learn more about the Sony 1000XM2, watch their full review. But if you want to pick up the Sony 1000XM2, I'll have links in the description below, and if you use the links, it really helps out the channel. I suggest you check them out because Sony headphones routinely go on sale. And also, check out the new merch shelf down below. Okay, so the most important thing you need to install this new firmware update on your headphones is time. This update took like 40 minutes to install. But after your headphones have been updated, if you scroll down to the bottom of Sony's headphones app, you'll see a new option tab. You can either keep the default settings of the ambient button, or you can remap it as your Google Assistant button. And as a refresher, the 1000XM2s have a touchpad on the right ear cup that controls your media playback, and those have remained unchanged. The power button and the ANC/ambient button are the only two physical buttons on these headphones, and in its default setting, the ambient button will cycle through having noise cancellation turned on, where they will obviously block out noise, ambient mode, where the headphones will pump in all of the surrounding sound, so it's like you're not even wearing the headphones, or just off.
Ambient sound.
52 bars went out, I'm through dealing now. 52 bars come out, now you feel them now. 52 bars roll out, remove selling the case. 52 bars come out, now you chilling with a boss.
Noise cancelling.
But if you choose to remap the ambient button, then you'll have quick and direct access to your voice assistant. If you simply press the ambient button, then the headphones will tell you the time, and they'll give you a rundown of any notifications you might have. Or if you press and hold the button, then you can start talking to your voice assistant immediately, just like on the Bose QC35 Series 2. You don't have to say a hot word, and you don't have to press and hold and wait like before. The whole process has been streamlined.
It's 4:18 p.m. You don't have new notifications right now.
What is 14 pounds in kilos?
14 pounds equals 6.35 kilograms.
Set the studio light to red.
Sure, changing the studio light to red.
Set the studio light to blue.
Sure, changing the studio light to blue.
Play some music.
Alright, music on Google Play Music. Here you go.
And personally, I really do think that having this direct access to your voice assistant can be pretty useful. Let's say if you're a student, you can quickly ask the assistant to do basic math or ask for unit conversions while you're working on your chemistry or physics homework. Or if you work in an office, you can calculate how much of a commission you should expect from your last sale. You can ask the assistant, what is 12% of $5,000, $600. But besides that, the headphones will read out notifications as they come in. And if you want, you can directly respond to these notifications by using the voice assistant.
It's 4:12 p.m. Message from Dad. Dad says, "Did you become a doctor yet?"
Send a text message to my dad.
Text Dad. Sure. What's the message?
No, I did not.
Do you want to send it or change it?
Send it. Even though having Google Assistant on your headphones can be very useful, just remember that if you want to cycle through your noise cancellation settings, you'll have to do so manually through the headphones app. And personally, I would really like to see Google Assistant have more control over the headphones themselves. Because right now, if you ask Google to turn on noise cancellation or ambient mode, things don't work out as expected. Turn on noise cancellation?
According to Verizon Wireless, from the home screen, tap Settings, General Accessibility. From the Hearing section, tap the phone noise cancellation switch.
Turn on ambient sound?
Playing relaxation sounds.
And then there's this little problem. Sometimes if you press the button to talk to your assistant, this happens. And the only way to fix it is to close the Google Assistant app on your phone. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is a pain in the butt. This is probably a problem on Sony's end, so hopefully they'll fix it soon. But in general, Google Assistant should work better and more seamlessly if you're using it on an Android device. Because right now on an iPhone, you do have to open up the Assistant app every time you turn on the headphones and have it running in the background for Google Assistant to actually work.
The Google Assistant is not connected.
But that's a small price to pay, so you don't have to deal with Siri. But overall, this new feature isn't a game changer, it's just a new option for the Sony 1000XM2. Google Assistant is going to be more useful for some people than others, but it definitely breathed some new life into these headphones as they approach their 1-year mark since they were announced at IFA last year. Now, since IFA 2018 is a few weeks away, I would personally be shocked if Sony announced their WH-1000XM3. I think it's more likely we'll see an updated version of their XP950N1 extra bass headphones. But if Sony does announce their 1000XM3, Google Assistant integration is nice, but more importantly, I would like to see better padding and synthetic leather, more spacious ear cups similar to the Bose QC35s with a more low-profile design, and better fast charging. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. Support the channel by clicking on the links down below, and I'll catch you next time.